everyone. It is Hien from DH Garden Center in beautiful Kitchener. Do you still remember the joy of harvesting something you created with your own hands for the very first time? Not a high test score, not winning the lottery, but something simple, like picking the very first bunch of greens from your backyard garden. That feeling is real. Why you should try. Growing fast veggies first. Emotional reasons. Growing vegetables isn't just a task, it's a healing experience. In today's fast-paced world, planting a tiny seed, watering it each day, and watching it grow can be surprisingly profound. It reconnects you with nature, something many of us don't realize we've lost touch with until we find it again. When you see that first sprout emerge, or when you snip your very first handful of homegrown greens, there's a quiet sense of pride, a deep, honest joy that doesn't come from a screen or a social media feed, but from your own balcony, backyard, or even just a tray by the window. And more than that, gardening is a proven stress reliever. Studies show that even a few minutes a day in the garden can lower anxiety, improve mood, and sharpen focus. It's not just about food, it's about feeling grounded. Second, practical reasons. Fast-growing veggies are a smart solution for a busy life, cost-effective. Instead of spending dozens of dollars every week on organic greens, you can grow them at home for the price of 1 or 2 cups of coffee, a pack of seeds, a tray of soil, and some sunlight. That's all you need. Nutritional value. Fast-growing vegetables are often microgreens or baby greens, both of which are loaded with vitamins, enzymes, and antioxidants. You're basically eating superfoods without the expensive packaging, food safety and control. You know exactly what you're eating. No pesticides, no preservative. In a time when food safety is a growing concern, this gives you peace of mind and real control over what goes on your plate. Now, let me walk you through 5 types of vegetables you should start growing. The veggie number 1, microgreens. Tiny but mighty. What are microgreens? Microgreens are young and tender seedlings harvested just after they develop the first set of seed leaves, cotyledons, and ideally just as the first true leaves begin to appear. They're not sprouts and they're not baby greens either. They fall somewhere in between. Think of them as miniature versions of full-grown vegetables, packed with flavor, texture, and nutrients. Why you should grow microgreens? 1. Super fast. Microgreens are one of the quickest crops you can grow. Most varieties are ready for harvest in just 7 to 12 days. That's less than 2 weeks from seed to plate. Perfect for beginners or anyone who wants instant results. 2. Super easy. You don't even need a garden. Microgreens can be grown on a windowsill, countertop, balcony, or anywhere with a bit of light. In fact, they don't even need traditional soil. Many people grow them using just a growing mat, coconut coir, or thin layer of potting mix. All you need is a shallow tray, some seeds, water, and access to sunlight, or a simple grow light. 3. Super nutritious. Microgreens are tiny nutrient bombs. Research shows they often contain up to 40 times more vitamins and antioxidants than their mature counterparts. That means a handful of microgreens can give you a serious health boost, all without taking up much space or effort. How to grow microgreens at home, step by step. Choose your seeds. Popular choices include radish, arugula, mustard, broccoli, kale, beet, and sunflower. You can also find microgreen seed mixes tailored for taste or nutrition. Prepare your tray. Use a shallow container, a plastic tray, recycled clamshell, or even a baking dish. Line it with growing medium, either soil, coconut coir, or a microgreen mat. Soak densely. Sprinkle the seeds generously and evenly across the surface. Don't worry about spacing. Microgreens are grown densely. Water and cover. Mix the seeds with water and cover the tray for the first 1-2 days to help with germination. A second tray or lid works great. Light and grow. Once seeds sprout, remove the cover and place the tray in a well-lit spot. A sunny windowsill or LED grow light works best. Keep the soil moist, but not soggy. Harvest. When the first set of true leaves appears, usually around day 7 to 12, snip them just above the soil line using scissors. Wash gently and enjoy. Quick recipe ideas with microgreens. Microgreen salad, tossed with olive oil, lemon juice, and a pinch of salt. Optional. Add goat cheese, cherry tomatoes, or nuts for crunch. Top your noodles. Add a handful of spicy radish or mustard microgreens to ramen or stir-fried noodles. Soup. Garnish. Sprinkle beet or kale microgreens over hot soup for a splash of color and nutrients. Avocado toast. Upgrade. Spread mashed avocado on toasted bread and pile on a mix of microgreens for extra flavor and bite. Pro tip. Once you get the hang of it, you can start succession sowing, planting a new tray every few days so you always have a fresh batch growing. Microgreens are the perfect introduction to gardening. Fast, rewarding, space-saving, and oh so tasty. Want more tips like this? Don't forget to hit like or follow so you won't miss the next easy-to-grow veggie coming up. Veggie number 2, pea shoots and sunflower shoots. Microgreens with a unique twist. While technically still microgreens, pea shoots and sunflower shoots stand out with flavors that are anything but ordinary. They're chunkier, crunchier, and bring real personality to the plate. Pea shoots, sweet, crisp, and refreshing. Pea shoots have a mild, slightly sweet, and refreshingly green flavor, almost like the essence of fresh peas, but lighter. Their tender texture and delicate crunch make them perfect for eating raw. Even kids often love them. Sunflower shoots, nutty and satisfying. Sunflower shoots, on the other hand, bring a totally different vibe. They taste like a green version of the sunflower seed. Rich, nutty, and unexpectedly hearty. They have a slightly thicker texture than most microgreens and work beautifully in both fresh and warm dishes. Harvest time, 10 to 15 days. Both pea and sunflower shoots are ready to harvest in just 10 to 15 days, slightly longer than some microgreens, but still well within that under 1 month window. And the payoff in taste and texture, totally worth it. How to grow pea and sunflower shoots at home. 1. Soak the seeds. These seeds are large and benefit from soaking before planting. Soak pea seeds and sunflower seeds in water for 8 to 12 hours or overnight to speed up germination and ensure even sprouting. 2. Plant generously. Fill a shallow tray with moist soil or coconut coir. Spread the soaked seeds evenly in a single layer. It's okay if they touch. Gently press them into the soil and mix with water. 3. Cover for germination. Cover the tray with another tray or lid for the first 2-3 days to encourage sprouting. This blackout period mimics soil pressure and helps the shoot grow tall and strong. 4. Light and water. Once the seeds sprout, you'll see little white roots. Remove the cover and move the tray to a bright window or undergrow lights. Mix regularly to keep the medium moist but not soggy. 5. Harvest with scissors. When the shoots are about 3 to 5 inches tall and have opened their first leaves, but before they get tough, snip them at the base with clean scissors. Rinse gently and they're ready to eat. Tips to prevent mold. Good airflow. Place your tray in a well-ventilated area. A small fan helps reduce humidity. Don't overwater. Only mist to keep the surface lightly moist. Avoid soggy soil. Sterilize tools. Rinse trays and tools with vinegar or diluted hydrogen peroxide before planting. How to use in everyday meals. In Asian dishes. Toss pea shoots with garlic and sesame oil in a hot wok, a classic side in Chinese cuisine. Add raw sunflower shoots to spring rolls for crunch and depth. In Western meals, use pea shoots as a fresh base in place of lettuce in sandwich or wraps. Top roasted sweet potatoes with sunflower seeds, tahini drizzle, and a pinch of sea salt. Add to omelets, pasta dishes, or grain bowls for an earthy, nutty bite. These aren't just greens, they're flavor-packed, texture-rich, and deeply satisfying additions to your garden and your kitchen. Whether you lean toward the sweet crispness of pea shoots or the bold nuttiness of sunflower greens, you're in for something special in just 2 weeks. Stay with me because next up is a leafy favorite that's ready even faster than you think. Veggie number 3, baby lettuce. Crisp, young, and full of possibilities. If you want something more substantial than microgreens but still quick to grow, baby lettuce is your go-to crop. It's incredibly versatile, easy to grow in any space, and ready to harvest in just 20 to 30 days. Microgreens versus baby greens. What's the difference? Microgreens are harvested early, usually after the first true leaves appear. They're small, delicate, and tender. Baby lettuce, on the other hand, is allowed to grow longer. The leaves are larger, juicier, and sturdier, perfect for salads, sandwiches, and wraps. You can pick them by hand, not just with scissors. How to adjust plant spacing for your goals? Want to harvest smaller heads in 20 days? Sow 9 plants per square foot, about 10 centimeters apart. Want slightly larger heads in 25 to 30 days. Sow 4 plants per square foot, about 15 centimeters apart. This lets you control the size and timing of your harvest. You can also succession sow. Plant a new batch every week for a steady supply. Grow anywhere, from trays to backyard beds indoors. Use a shallow 10x20-inch tray with drainage holes. Place it near a sunny window or under a grow light. On the balcony, use long planters, recycled containers, or foam boxes. In the garden, create wide shallow beds and cover the soil with mulch to retain moisture. Cut and come again. Harvesting method. Once your baby lettuce has out to 10 true leaves, use clean scissors to cut the leaves about 1 inch, 2-3 centimeters above the base. The plant will regrow from the center, giving you 1 to 2 more harvests from the same plant. Just don't cut too close to the crown. That's the plant growth center. Nutrition and storage. Tips. Baby lettuce is rich in vitamins A, C, K, and folate. Great for your eyes, skin, and immune system. But because it's high in water, it can wilt quickly after harvesting. To store, rinse gently, shake off excess water, wrap in a paper towel, and place in a sealed zip bag in the fridge. Best eaten within 3 to 4 days for crisp texture and peak nutrients. Stay tuned. Up next is a surprisingly delicious group of leafy greens that most people overlook. Veggie number 4, edible leaves from root crops. Delicious, underrated, and totally worth growing. When people think of root vegetables, they usually picture the part that grows underground. Beets, turnips, radishes, carrots. But did you know many of these plants also grow edible leafy tops that are just as tasty and sometimes even more nutritious than the root itself? Let's shine a light on these often overlooked greens. Most common edible root greens, beet greens. Slightly earthy, tender, and full of color. They taste amazing sautéed or added to soup. Turnip greens, mildly peppery with a smooth texture when cooked. Radish greens, a bit spicier and fuzzier in texture but excellent in stir fries or blended into soups. These greens are 100% edible. And no, they're not just leftovers. In many cultures, they're a valued part of the meal. Simple and tasty way to use them. Garlic sautéed beet greens. Wash and chop fresh beet leaves. Sauté with garlic and olive oil until tender. Add a dash of lemon juice or balsamic vinegar for brightness. Serve warm with rice, roasted veggies or eggs. Turnip leaf soup. Simmer turnip green with miso, tofu, or chicken broth. They soften quickly and bring a gentle bite and green freshness to any bowl. Radish green pesto. Bonus. Blend radish tops with garlic, lemon juice, nuts or seeds, olive oil, and a sprinkle of parmesan for a spicy, peppery twist on traditional pesto. The big advantage? Harvest the leaves without killing the plant. One of the coolest things about these crops is that you can harvest the leaves while leaving the root intact. This allows the plant to continue growing. You get two crops from one plant, leafy greens early and the root later. It's perfect for small space or anyone trying to get the most out of every square foot. Just make sure you don't remove all the leaves. Always leave a few at the center so the plant can keep photosynthesizing and growing strong. Tip in on growing and caring for root crop greens. Choose the right varieties. Look for heirloom or organic varieties labeled as dual purpose, bred for both tasty greens and high quality roots. Avoid varieties treated with chemical coatings or designed only for large-scale farming. Soil and spacing. Loose, well-drained soil is best, especially for strong root growth. Raised bed or deep containers work great. Sow seeds about 1 to 2 inches apart, then thin them out once they sprout to give each plant space to thrive. Watering and sunlight. Keep the soil moist but not soggy. These plants like consistent watering. Full sun is ideal, but they can tolerate partial shade, especially in hot climates. When to harvest the leaves? Start picking outer leaves when the plant is about 2 to 4 weeks old. Harvest in the morning when the leaves are crisp and full of moisture. Cut gently with scissors or pinch off by hand. Avoid tearing or yanking the stems. Root vegetables aren't just about what's underground. The leafy tops are vibrant, versatile, and criminally underrated. If you're trying to stretch your harvest, reduce waste, or just try something new, don't toss those greens. Cook them. Up next, we'll explore a few more fancier greens you can grow under 30 days, including kale, bok choy, and mizuna. And if this section gave you an aha moment, give it a like, share, or follow. Let's help more people rediscover the hidden treasures in their gardens. Veggie number 5, elevated greens, kale, bok choy, mizuna, also known as greens with personality. Once you've tried the basic, lettuce, pea shoots, microgreens, you might want to level up your garden with greens that are a little more exciting. Enter baby kale, dwarf bok choy, and mizuna. These elevated greens are just as fast growing, often ready in under 30 days, but offer deeper flavors, better textures, and more versatility in the kitchen. Why baby kale tastes better than mature kale? Let's be honest, mature kale has a bit of a reputation. It's fibrous, chewy, and can taste a little earthy. That's why baby kale is a game changer. It's more tender, making it easier to eat raw in salad. The flavor is milder and slightly sweet, not as bitter as older leaves. You don't need to massage it or cook it down, just rinse and eat. And because baby kale grows quickly, you can get your first harvest within 25-30 days from sowing. You can even use the cut and come again method to keep harvesting more over time. Dwarf or baby bok choy. Compact, cute, and fast standard bok choy can take 45 to 60 days to mature. But there are dwarf varieties like Mei-ching choy or toy choy that are bred for speed and size. These grow in 20-30 days, making them perfect for quick harvest. The stems are crunchy and juicy, while the leaves are tender and slightly sweet. Great in stir fries, broths, or even grilled with garlic and sesame oil. Plant them densely for baby harvest, or space them out if you want mini full head. Mizuna, the salad's secret weapon. Mizuna is part of the mustard family, but don't worry, it's not overpowering. This leafy green has a subtle peppery kick, almost like arugula, but more delicate. The leaves are feathery and light, adding texture and movement to any salad. Mizuna is called hardy, which means it thrives in cooler seasons and can even survive light frost. Bonus, the flowers are edible too. Use them as a garnish for a beautiful finishing touch. Most Mizuna varieties are ready to harvest as baby leaves in about 21 to 25 days. How to mix these greens into a balanced meal. These three greens complement each other beautifully, both in flavor and nutrition. Base. Start with baby kale for a solid, nutrient-rich foundation. Texture. Add some bok choy stems for crunch and water content. Flavor pop. Finish with a handful of mizuna for a peppery twist. Top with protein, boiled eggs, tofu, grilled chicken. Sprinkle with seeds or nuts and drizzle with a citrusy vinaigrette. And you've got a complete, satisfying meal straight from the garden. Seasonal growing tips. Summer or winter kale and mizuna thrive in cooler months. In fact, their flavor often improves with a touch of cold, sweeter, crisper, more vibrant. Bok choy can bolt, flower prematurely in high heat. To avoid this, grow in spring or fall. Provide partial shade if planting in summer. Keep the soil evenly moist to prevent stress. All three can be grown in containers, raised beds, or ground soil. Just make sure they get 14 or 6 hours of sunlight and some protection from strong heat or frost, depending on your climate. So there you have it. 5 types of vegetables or groups of greens that you can grow and harvest in under 30 days. Microgreens, lightning fast, nutrient-packed, and endlessly versatile. Pea and sunflower shoots, sweet, nutty, and full of texture. Baby lettuce, crisp, refreshing, and perfect for salads. Edible root crop greens, a delicious bonus most people overlook. Upgraded greens like baby kale, bok choy, and mizuna, bold flavors with gourmet potential. Here's the real takeaway. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need acres of land. You don't even need to have a green thumb. All you need to do is start. If you're tired of just getting through the day and you're ready to reclaim a little bit of joy, nourishment, and connection, this is it. One tray, one seed, one habit that can change how you feel, how you eat, and how you live. So, let's grow something, even if it's just a handful of greens on your kitchen counter. If this guy sparked an idea or gave you a gentle push to begin, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like, tap follow, or share this article with a friend who dreams of growing their own food but hasn't started yet. Together we can grow not just gardens, but little pockets of hope and self-reliance. One pot, one salad, one harvest at a time.